Good morning, dear students and friends. Welcome back to the Prithviraj English Academy. As our social studies series is going on for Karnataka State Board, for the 9th standard, part number 1 is a political science. Chapter number 5, our constitution. Explanation is going on. So already in a first video we have completed the first part related to the constitution, like the historical background and preamble, and the highlights of the preamble you have completed in the first part. If you want to watch that video, then I am going to provide the link in the descriptions and please go through it. So in this video we are going to discuss about the silent features of the constitution. So without a delay, let's start the today's video, that is the silent features of the constitution. So silent features of our constitution, very important and very eminent feature is, first one is written and lengthy constitution. Ours is the lengthiest constitution in the world and it is in a written form. Okay, the powers and functions of the organs of the government. As you know that the major organs of the government are three: legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature means their work is they are going to making a laws. Executive means they are going to implementing the laws, and judiciary they are going to giving the judgment like court. Okay, these all have in a written form. That's why ours still going to consider as a lengthiest constitution in the world and written also. Along with that, fundamental rights, duties, directive principles of state policy, etc. These all are in a written form. When our constitution we have adopted, that time it is has 22 parts, 8 schedules and 395 articles. Later on with many amendments. Amendment means with changes. Now it has the 25 parts, from 22 to 25 parts it is increased, and from 8 to now it is 12 schedules are there, and those time it is 395 articles. Now it is approximately 370 articles are there. So because of this all the aspects, is the world's lengthiest constitution and it is in a written form. Now move to the next. Second point is very important. It is flexible and the rigid constitution. The constitution which can be easily amended is called the flexible or simple constitution. Means ours is not even a flexible, not even the rigid constitution. If the amendment are very easily, if you are going to done, then it is going to call it a flexible or simple constitution. At the same time, our constitution is not easy to amend. Means by a few half maybe you can call it as a flexible. Along with that, it is very complicated to amend. Means you need the special procedures you have to follow for the amendment, and that is called the rigid or complicated constitution. Our constitution is neither too flexible nor too rigid. Now come to the parliamentary form of government. So what it means, parliamentary government means the party with the most seats in parliament forms the government is called the parliamentary government. Okay, our constitution provides the parliamentary form of government, means the sovereign power of the nation is vested in the elected parliament. Elected who has the more majority, that party will become the ruling party. Means the executive is responsible to the legislature at the central and state levels. The cabinet shall be in a power as long as it enjoys the confidence of the legislature. As soon as it loses the confidence of the legislature, it has to resign. Now come to the republican system. Republican system means the head of the country. Means what it means, republic means the head of the country directly or indirectly may be elected by the people is called the republican system. And India is the republican system of government India has. Okay. The constitution had declared India a republic. Therefore, no one can come to power through the hereditary principle. Hereditary means from father to son, son, a daughter, like that. It's going on. Okay. Means it's passed on the from parents to child. But in a republican system, it is not there. Okay. In India, such kind of rule is not there. Okay. The word republic indicated that India was not ruled by any hereditary kingdom or queen. In India, the president is the constitutional head of the state and he is elected by the representatives of the people. Means indirectly he will going to elected. Federal system means the government. You can call it government will going to the power will going to shared in a central government, state government, like that. It's called the federal system. Our constitution provides for the federal system of government because our country consists of different languages, castes, races, and geographical regions, means areas. Administrative powers are going to shared by the central and state governments. Actually, it's called the federal system. Okay. In a central list, we have the 100 subjects, and that the central government will going to make a laws. And in a state list, we have the 61 subjects, on that only particularly state government will going to make the laws. Remaining concrete list is there, in that 52 subjects are there on that list. On those subjects, both central government and state governments will be have the power to make the laws. And the Supreme Court has the authority to solve all the disputes, whatever the disputes will going to rising between the state and the central with any subjects, like 52 subjects are there, no, in that Supreme Court will going to any subject of 100 of central government and 61 of the state and 52 of the concrete list. In that any dispute may be rise, then Supreme Court has the highest authority to solve the disputes. You can now come to the fundamental rights. What it means, fundamental rights means those rights that those are going to provided by the constitution to the people is called the fundamental rights. Means these rights had the protection. These rights are going to provided the protection from the constitution is called the fundamental rights. And no law of the any government, it may be the central government or state government or any organization, can be deny these rights. If the fundamental rights are taken away, it may be endangered, the citizen can be directly appeal to the High Court or the Supreme Court of the country, and they can get it, the fundamental rights. Okay. These rights are listed in the third part of the constitution. It is very important, so please go through it. That means our constitution, in the third part we have the explanation about the fundamental rights. In later video we will come to know in very detail about the fundamental rights. Okay. And in a fundamental rights we have the 6 major fundamental rights. Those are right to liberty, right to equality, right against the exploitation, right to religion, right to education and culture, right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 important fundamental rights. The Supreme Court has the power to protect these rights. Hence, the Supreme Court is referred to as the protector of the fundamental rights. Supreme Court has the highest power, along with that High Courts also. Okay. Fundamental duties. Along with the fundamental rights, the Indian Constitution has provided some essential duties to all the citizens of the country to should follow it. Okay, through the 42nd amendment of the constitution in year of 1976, 10 fundamental duties have been be added in a part 4a under the article 51a. Okay, but in a year of 2002, 86 amendment were done to the constitution. Amendment means you know that changes. Okay, through that it made the duty of the parents to provide an opportunity for the education to the children for the age between 6 to 14 years. This is now 11th fundamental duty mentioned in the part 4a in a constitution. About fundamental duties also we are going to discuss in a very detailed manner in the next video. Okay, now come to the directive principles of state policies. Directive principles of state policies have been incorporated in the fourth part of our constitution. These principles have been adopted from the Ireland country constitution, means you have taken from the Ireland constitution. These are the basis for the establishment of social and economic equality. They are the basic principles required for the administration of the country. Yet, the government cannot be questioned by the court of justice if it is not implemented. It is their options. If government want, they can take. If they don't want, there is no need to implement these directive principles of state policy because they are not compulsory followed by the government. If suppose they failed, then we cannot be question the government in a courts also. When the government frames the new laws, that time they maybe pay the attention towards the directive principles of state policy. Most of the government they are going to pay the attention. If suppose they may not be paid, then nobody will going to question them. Independent and centralized judicial system means we have the independent and as well as centralized judicial system. Our judiciary is independent and centralized. Means it's it has the authority to give the judgments in order to protect the rights of the people. Neither the legislator nor the executive has the authority any right to interfere with the working of the judiciary. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the country, and all the high courts and subordinate courts are going to work under the Supreme Court. That's why we are going to call it as a centralized judicial system. And independent because the remaining organs like legislature and executive, they are not going to interfere. They hasn't have any right to interfere in the working of the judiciary. That's why it is called the independent. And centralized means Supreme Court has the highest power and only one Supreme Court is there in a country. That's why. Okay. Now move to the 10th very important feature of our constitution is single citizenship. In the countries like America, over there the people has the dual citizenship, means they have the national citizen separately and state citizen separately. But in India, we have only one citizenship, that is national citizenship. The constitution makes provision for a single citizenship in order to curb narrow-minded regionalism, means areas, and promote the nationalism. In place of the regionalism, we want to promote the nationalism. That's why the citizens of the country has the national citizenship, not the state citizenship. Our parliament has the power to frame rules in the related to the citizenship matter. Okay, now move to the 11th feature, universal adult franchises. What it means? Universal adult franchises means the people, those who are above the 18 years of the age, they can have the power to vote. They can even choose their representatives, those above the 18 years. It symbolizes the sovereignty, absolute power of the people. Means in this country, in India, the people are the supreme. Okay, now move to the next. Bicameral legislature or central legislature. First we come to know about the what it means bicameral legislature means. Bicameral means if the legislature has the two houses is called the bicameral. At the same time, opposite of this one, you have studied it in a 7th standard. Unicameral. Unicameral means if whichever legislature has the one house is called the unicameral. Bicameral means two houses. And India or otherwise we are going to call it as a central legislature. Means in a central legislature we are going to call it as a parliament. Parliament, it is equal to the equivalent to the central legislature, means both are the same only. Central legislature means parliament only. A parliament means central legislature only. And parliament, central legislature has the two houses, means bicameral. Two houses are there. One is lower house, we are going to call it as a Lok Sabha, and people of the lower house will going to elected by the people. Sorry, member of the lower house, a Lok Sabha will going to elected by the people. And the upper house, we are going to call it as a Rajya Sabha in India, upper house. Okay, and the member of the upper house are going to elected by the member of the Lok Sabha and member of the state legislative assemblies member are going to vote for them. They are going to choose. Okay, now come to the 13th salient features of the constitution. In India, political parties are going to consider as a pillars of the democracy, and in India you have the multi-party system in India, means multi-political party system in there in India. Okay, the party which wins the majority of votes in the general election becomes the ruling party, and whereas remaining all are going to consider as a opposition parties. Who has the highest, we can call it as a majority of votes, we are going to consider as a ruling party, remaining all the opposition party. So about the fundamental, about in this video we are going to come to know about the silent features of the our constitution. In the later video we will come to know about the fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of the state policies in a very detailed manner. Till then you can watch this video, and if you come to know it is worthful for you, then please share this video among your friends. And if you have any doubt, any suggestion, then please comment and like and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, my dears. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.